Almost everyone underestimates what they're actually paying or what they actually will pay for outbound shipping. The reason is UPS, FedEx salesperson will give you a price, they'll give you this huge discount, it's a 55% discount, it's great. And they make you focus on the base rates, but the accessorial, so the additional fees are huge. So a large percentage of your products are going to go to residential or super residential addresses, which have huge surcharges, dollars per package. The fuel surcharges right now are about 15%. Tip number one is remember your salesperson is not your friend. They're there to get the most profit out of you. That's how they're comp. You need to dig into your bills and really understand what are you actually paying. Everyone I've seen do it is always shocked that they're like, oh, I thought I'm paying $6 a package. No, you're actually paying $8.50 when you do the math. So one, know your bills. Two, never rely on a single carrier. So usually the best model is either use UPS or FedEx and then also use USPS. So USPS doesn't have a lot of extra fees. What you pay is what you pay. You have the cost transparency and they're much cheaper on a sub 1 pound package. Now, the reason to not only use USPS is they have the place where they're the cheapest cost, which is if it's under 4 pounds typically, and if the longest dimension is under 22 inches. If you have something that's got over 22 inches, you start to get surcharges of $8 or more. And if it's over 4 pounds, UPS and FedEx start to come more into the mix of being a cheaper cost. And it also depends where it's going, because if it's a business address, UPS or FedEx will be cheaper. If it's a residential address, USPS will be cheaper. So it is far too complex for any human to ever know what to do. You need to live rate quote it. If you have a live rate quoting system, it'll tell you this package should go UPS, this should go USPS or FedEx. But always have one of the majors, so either UPS or FedEx, and either the USPS or someone like a DHL eCommerce or ACI Logistics or someone like that who is basically a USPS reseller. Because the economics of any of those resellers is roughly the same as USPS, just maybe save you a few percent. But always live rate quote and then check your bills. The live rate quotes will still underestimate the UPS and FedEx actual cost because UPS and FedEx will add surcharges. So I saw one the other day where there were 8 packages going to an address and the address missed like the suite A. So they charged, I don't remember the exact amount, maybe like $12 per package for adding the suite A, right? So it's extra $96. So you're not gonna be able to fight all those, it won't be worth it, but you should at least run the comparison so you know how much it's actually costing you fully loaded so that you're not sort of fooling yourself as to what your costs are and then at the end of the year being like, hey, how come we didn't make as much money as we thought, right? So the typical way almost everyone uses ShipHero is they use our cheapest function. So they say, I just want to get it the cheapest way among my eligible carriers, or I want to get the cheapest way that's going to get there within 2 days among my eligible carriers. And then the packer just presses print label, we live rate quote and just print the cheapest one. No one looks at any prices, no one sees anything. If you're trying to train people or have people quote and choose the right one, like that's great in theory, look at the results. You're going to be overpaying by a lot of money. We integrate with a lot of small carriers. So as a merchant or a shipper becomes bigger, it pays to start leveraging local and regional carriers, which give you even more savings. We work with a company, Viho, that serves certain zips in San Antonio, Houston, Austin, and Dallas-Fort Worth, but not other things in between, right? But because it's live rate quoted, it'll just quote them and Viho will be like, no, I can't deliver there, so we go to the next one. You get those bills. They make it hard to understand, but what you want to do is basically sum the total. Okay, here's what I'm paying in total. How many packages did I ship? That's my average. And don't try to understand each individual package line because they make it such that unless you have a PhD and you understand your carrier bills, you're not gonna be able to really get into it. But you can summarize and use that to sort of inform your decisions. And you can go back to your reps and fight over some of those accessorial fees and get them lowered. And that's generally going to give you a much higher ROI than trying to get a slight discount off the base rates. The accessorials are where most of the extra profit that they make are.